Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Novocaine, the newest action comedy I guess starring Jack Quaid, who this is a second major release in as many months because we had him in Companion about a month ago, which is my favorite film of the year so far. Granted, well, barely into March, and this most of the releases this year has been shit. But whatever, by default, Companion is my favorite film of the year. And it's actually legitimately a good and good entertaining movie, an original movie. This is also an original movie and one that I found also very entertaining, but completely different. Jack Quaid, here, and it's good to see Jack Quaid finally getting some love here, right? Because I love him. I love him as Huey in The Boys, one of my favorite shows, and this role is more akin to that than the role he played in The Companion. But he's finally getting his time to shine, right? So good for him. But this one here, he plays an assistant bank manager. You know, he's a very mild-mannered, typical Joe Schmo. Nothing really special about him. You know, he's very shy. He's lived a kind of a sheltered life because of a genetic condition he has to deal with. And this condition, of course, affects the nervous system, whatever the case is, and he can't feel any pain. He can barely feel anything at all physically, but definitely no pain. So, you know, it sounds like interesting, right? It could be cool, but at the same time, he's sheltered for a reason. His parent, you know, I think he tells a story where he stepped on a nail or something. And he was bleeding out. His shoe was full of blood, and he didn't realize it because he can't feel anything. So as a young kid, his mom saw that, so now he's overprotected. Not to mention that the lifespan expectancy for someone with this condition is the mid-20s, which he's surpassed. So obviously, there's a very careful, very safe life, right? So you know, one day, you know, he finally gets to go out with one of the bank tellers at his bank that he's head over heels with and has been for a while. And they hit it off, things go great, they hook up, and the next day he's living the dream, birds are chirping and all that good stuff, but it all comes crashing down. These three bank robbers come in, they rob the bank and kill the manager and take his new girlfriend as a hostage. So now he takes it upon himself to be the hero, the reluctant hero, because he's anything but a hero, right? Physically, he's a skinny guy, small guy, because the way he lives is very, you know, very safe, and you know, doing this is so far off the reservation for him. It's interesting to see him kind of like man up, if you want, and say, you know what, I'm gonna go save the girl who's the one I've been waiting for, the one who's changed my life, and he's doing whatever he can to be sure she's safe. So that's like I said, the idea is interesting, is different. I love the way how they incorporate his condition when it comes to some of the action scenes, because yes, you know, he's not a badass. He's not an ex, you know, special forces or an ex hitman or whatever the case is. He's one of us. He's just a regular guy out there, right? Who just happens to find the nutsack this time to man up and go save the woman that he loves. But how they use his condition, right? The fact that he can't feel any pain, and how advantageous at times it is for him, right? Because he can do things because of it that nobody else can, so which helps kind of balance out the fact that these other guys are bigger, stronger, and actually know how to fight. They're ex-military, I think. The thieves are. So, and I really liked how they create. It was very creative on how they used this condition to his advantage, and I really liked that. That was one of the highlights of the film for me. But very funny situations, things you're doing. So I enjoyed that, and overall made the movie very entertaining. Again, very original as a result, because these kind of films are usually typically, the main character, he's forced interaction, has some sort of training or a background that allows him to do that. Here he doesn't. It just happens to there's this very unique condition that puts him in a certain position that he can do things, and even things he didn't realize, but he's doing them, and it doesn't affect him because he can't feel pain. And I don't want to spoil exactly what they do. But I like that. I like something original, something different is what this movie is. And overall, it's an entertaining film. It's not great. It's not going to change anyone's lives here. It's not one you're probably going to remember in 6 months. And maybe when it comes on VOD, like, oh yeah, this movie, that was a cool movie. I'll watch it again. Like I said, it's fun. It's funny and knows what it is. It has fun with it. It's a little bit too long, to be honest with you. You know, a couple of characters, particularly with the two cops in there, just seemed out of place and unnecessary in the film. But for the most part, when it focused on him and the task at hand, it worked. A nice little twist in there I didn't see coming. But again, very enjoyable. This is a guy you can truly root for. They do a good job setting him up. It's like, you know what, you want this guy to succeed and stuff like that, and to do it in the way that he does. It's very entertaining and all that, no doubt about it. I wish they would have gone heavier and leaned even more into that condition than they did. But nonetheless, a small complaint. But again, it's a very entertaining film. I definitely recommend you guys catch it. I'm not saying go run to the theaters and watch it. But if you're gonna happen to go to the movies, this is one I think you won't regret seeing. But at least make it a point to watch it on demand or whenever it comes out on streaming, whatever the case is. It's definitely one that should be on your list. It's funny enough, same actor, second favorite film of the year. Of course, both by Jack Quaid, the companion of this one. Granted, again, it's early and this has been a bad year of movies so far, but it is what it is. As a result, these happened to me with two favorite films, both starring the same guy. I never thought I would have said that entering this year. So Novocaine, definitely you should check it out. It's a very fun, entertaining film. If you do, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.